The Motor City Maniacs is one of the many great nicknames they're going to be getting when this lineup inevitably pops off. They are a team racing towards being a ready and dangerous force within 1 to 2 years. They already have an elite line for the future, and with the 9th and 17th overall pick, as well as 3 straight second-round picks, they are looking dangerous to sweep this draft as well. But you know how we roll. When there's 2 first-round picks, we're going to try and get through this as detailed but quick as possible. Now, one of the really cool things I find about the Red Wings is that they're willing to reach to get their guy in the draft, no matter where they're projected to go. Recent examples like Casper as well as Cedar were projected to go way later than they were picked, but honestly, were great fits for what they needed. But with these 2 picks, at least in the first round, I don't think they need to reach, and I think they know that. But with not 1, not 2, but 3 second-round picks in a draft where you're still getting very good quality players at the mid-3rd round, they can reach then, and they'll know that. So let's jump right into what I think the projected lineup is going to look like with the 2 picks I've selected. Now, let's start off with my boy, Oliver Moore, the 5'11", 176-pound center playing for the U.S. National Development Program. Now, honestly, I think he's one of the most underrated players in this draft, even though he's projected to go very high. I really do think that if he switched spots with Will Smith in their lineup, he would have put up way more points than he did. But I digress. Now you may be thinking, why is Oliver Moore taking it over Larkin? Look, I love Larkin. He's one of my favorite players out there. I think his story is really inspiring. But he's 26 years old and he's still yet to get a point per game season. And as many players tend to do, when they get a large contract as he does with his 8-year, $8.7 million contract, players tend to get complacent, and instead of competing as hard as they normally would have if they were chasing money, not saying that that is the case, but that does tend to slow players down. Another thing about the Larkin situation is that on a team of this caliber, your star player cannot be getting under a point per game. That is if you want to do anything with this franchise. You need a game breaker like Moore, and honestly, I think if Moore takes the first line center and Dylan Larkin gets the second line center, I think then maybe Larkin will get over a point per game because of the matchups and the lines he'll be facing. Also, with his spot that he has secured since he was like 18, 19, he is going to fight hard for his position. And the personality of both of these guys are very strong, and I think it'll be a healthy relationship no matter how fierce the competition is within the lineup. Fierce competition within the lineup is honestly going to be a great thing for both of these guys because nowadays a top 6 is a top line. I'll get into more of that later, but honestly, Ryan Leonard isn't a bad pick if Oliver Moore is not available because he is projected to go earlier and earlier every time I look at mock drafts. I already gave a rundown of Leonard in my Flyers video, so go check that out. But Oliver Moore is an unbelievable playmaker with a great shot and fluent skating. My player comparison is he's got the feet and skating ability of Jack Hughes with the mind and IQ of Trevor Zegras. That is unbelievably dangerous. Any team would be lucky to have this kid. Scoring 31 goals and 44 assists for 75 points in 61 games on the second line, he is unbelievably good at all things offense. Even needing to gain muscle, he has an awesome shot because of his form and his snapshot ability. He skates fluently and can contort his body with great control of the puck. And with a great core around him, this kid will be able to excel because he really makes everybody on his team better while excelling himself. I really believe this is why the U.S. National Development Program put him on the second line, not the first, because no matter who he plays with, he's going to make them and himself dangerous. With 2 very good skilled centers, and Marco Casper, who will be one of the best third-line centers in the league if this happens, that center core is locked in for the future. Next, we got one of the most interesting players in the draft, in my opinion, Kobe Barlow. With the 17th overall pick, if he is still available, the Red Wings should take 6'1", 187-pound OHL demon Kobe Barlow playing for the Owen Sound. With 46 goals and 33 assists, good enough for 79 points in only 59 games. He is a bona fide goal-scoring machine. Now, one thing that is very attractive about this guy is that he is very NHL ready. He has incredible tenacity and grit with a high level of maturity, being the captain of his OHL team, with highly NHL level efficient fundamental mechanics. He plays an intelligent brand of hockey with fantastic offensive IQ, often elects for the safe play and the most effective play rather than a risky and flashy play, which is perfect for a team like the Red Wings. With the lineup I projected earlier, they're going to have so much offensive talent, but on the offensive side at least, they're going to be lacking a little bit defensively. Now, of course, not bad. With as fast as this team is, they will be effective, but I think a guy like Barlow, whose defensive IQ is very high, will be a solid stand-up guy for them. He has an awesome shot, and with his ability to float lines 1 through 3 and be a force on all 3 zones, he will never be without a job in the NHL, which is why there are issues on if he's going to even be available at 17. If he is not available, there are other good options. Chris Stahl, who I explored in the Sabres video, great skill, needs to put in a lot more effort, but has the skill to keep up with any player in this lineup. Gabriel Perreault, who I think is a great player for another team. He is a product of the U.S. National Development Team, so he could just float up there and play with Oliver Moore, and they'll already have great chemistry. Or a project player like Chalet would be a good fit and work his way up the lineup. But with as great as Barlow has been recently, he might have priced himself out of the 17th overall pick. But we'll see. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and comment the next team you want to see.